I've been thinking for a while now about doing an in-depth, longer video talking about my deeper ayahuasca experience. It's it's something that a lot of you ask me about on a regular day-to-day basis, desperately trying to sort of find out and drill down deeper, more into the experiences that I've had over the last 9 months. It's a funny one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. On reflection, my journey has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. It has been life-changing. But it's been tough. It's been really, really tough. It's been really emotional. It's been really shit at times. And certainly at times I've thought that I was actually losing my mind whilst going through the process, because what is very difficult to comprehend until you go and do deep healing medicine work, deep shadow work, regardless of what you want to call it, basically digging down deep into your essence, who you really are, where you've really come from, why we do the things we do, why do we have the thoughts that we think, why do I feel the way that I feel. If someone told me 18 months ago the journey I was going to go on with ayahuasca, I sometimes think that maybe I wouldn't. Sometimes I think maybe it would have been easier to remain deep buried in the matrix. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the red pill or the blue pill, whatever the matrix one was. Maybe I just wanted to stay being naive in my world. Because the problem is, when you start going deep into plant medicines like ayahuasca, is that once you open that door to discovery, to looking to heal yourself, that door doesn't close again, right? It doesn't close again, because what ayahuasca shows you is just such an in-depth overview of your life, where you've gone wrong, who have you hurt, and how you're going to ultimately make it better. It's tough. It's tough. I have had some really challenging times. A couple of weeks ago, right? I mean, I know on social media, always super positive, and I am always super positive. I see life in a very different way now. But that doesn't mean that I don't get attacked by a barrage of these deep human emotions like we all deal with whilst we're having this human experience, right? It's very normal. But the other week, okay, I had this 36 hours of just the deepest despair, absolute this sense of losing everything, just this entrenched fear just bubbling up. Hot and cold sweats, couldn't sleep for 36 hours, just my mind just going in this horrendous state of confusion and fear and worry, and like I said, this huge sense of loss. And it was at that point I was lying in my bed trying to sleep, but my head was just going crazy with just these horrendous gut-wrenching emotions of just sorrow and loss and misery and loneliness and despair and shame, and it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. Really tough. The point I want to make with this video, and I'm going to be careful that I don't rattle on because I want to keep this interesting for you. I want to keep you guys engaged because it is an amazingly engaging experience. And ultimately, I want you to go and seek who you really are. Seek to heal your shit. Heal your wounds, your traumas. Release yourself from the prison that this mind can trap us in so often. I would encourage all of you to do healing work. It is the best thing I have ever done. It has fundamentally changed me for a better person on so many levels. Before doing it, you know, there's no way I'd have been sat on camera now saying to the world, you know, my content reaches a lot of people. There's no way I'd be sitting here now looking straight in the camera going to you, guys, I was an alcoholic. I was drinking 100 units of alcohol per week on average. Definitely more than that. I'm sure I did some conservative maths. But I was drinking far too much, right? And I wasn't drinking because I was a bad person. I was drinking because I was desperate to switch off all this noise, all of this crap that I just had going around my head all the time. This barrage of just nonsense, negativity, crap, fears, worries, loneliness bouncing around my mind all the time. And I drank and I abused substances just to try and quieten down that noise. And I know by doing that, I upset people that I loved. I upset my wife, the one person in this world that I absolutely adore, my absolute world. We've been through one hell of a journey together since we first rocked up in London together nearly 10 years ago. Both skint, both broken from shitty relationships beforehand. I'd come out of a shitty marriage. Both broken, so skint, so poor, struggling to find ourselves in London. And then going on this journey of self-discovery and working with each other and helping each other. And because of my mental health issues, and because I was a man and I didn't want to ever confess that I might have mental health issues or I might be suffering from depression because, right, I'm a man and men don't have mental health issues. We're strong, we're tough, we're the breadwinners, we're the supporters, we're the people who go out there. We fix shit, right? We don't have problems ourselves. What do you mean you feel sorry for yourself? Weak, vulnerable, frustrated? No. I'm fine. I'm a man. I'm tough. I'm focused. I know what I'm doing. But all the time I was battling with this deep mental health rubbish which had captured me since I was a child. And to combat that I was drinking, and because I was drinking I wasn't present with my wife a lot of the time. I wasn't present. I didn't give her enough energy. And I regret that for years. For years I must have made her feel like shit. I know I made her feel like shit because we've had those conversations. And what ayahuasca showed me is just all the times in my life where alcohol just pulled me further away from what I really ultimately wanted to achieve, and just showed me how disastrous it was for my life. Just absolutely disastrous. And I'm just so glad. I'm so glad. And I'm so proud of myself also to take a 23-year habitual habit of being an alcoholic. You know, alcoholism, they say, is one of the toughest addictions to sort of break away from. And I found it easier, to be honest. I found it easier, much easier than I thought. I mean, of course it was tough. It was hard, but ayahuasca, the plant medicines, really sort of helped me really deeply understand why I drank, and it helped fix all the trauma from my childhood, my parents' divorce, unstable family home, lots of emotion, lots of stuff I didn't understand at 4 years old, why my world was breaking down, why the two people that I love the most, why are they fighting, why are they breaking all this apart, why are they breaking apart our perfect world, right? 4 years old, you're busy just trying to work it out. Maybe it's my fault, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's my brother's fault, he was a little shit, maybe it's his fault. It wasn't our faults. It was parents, relationship breaking down. But at 4 years old, you don't know how to interpret it. You don't know how to interpret it at all. You're lost. You're stuck. You're confused, right? And that created anxiety, that created fear. And then at 8 years old, I first discovered alcohol at a wedding. And I realised that drinking alcohol stopped the anxiety and it made life a little bit more fun. There you go. That was the hook. That was the first point in my life that alcohol was introduced to my system, and then I created this sort of comfort zone memory around, feel anxious, dude? Just drink. Just drink it, it'll fix it. It'll fix it, it'll be fine. And that was my behavioural pattern for 23 bloody years. I'm nearly 40. I'm 40 in 6 months' time. And I've wasted 23 years of my life not growing, stagnating, stuck in fear, stuck in addiction. Crazy, right? It's mad what we do to ourselves, how we self-sabotage our experience. We prevent ourselves from growing. We stop ourselves from ever hitting our maximum potential. Why? Because of memories, thoughts in our head from years ago? Shit doesn't even exist. It's madness. It's madness. But it's beautiful in a sense as well. Sorry, just spat. It's beautiful in a sense as well because it teaches us so much. Everything in this world, good, bad, right or wrong, is ultimately there because I've made a choice at some point. So as a nearly 40-year-old man, I need to sort of grip reality by the balls, take responsibility for my actions, man up, have that honest conversation with myself, sort your shit out, mate. Because if you don't, who is? Ultimately, in this reality, who's going to come along and save you? I don't have anyone in my life who's going to come along and save me. No one in my world can come along and pick me up and save me. I have friends, I have family, I have loving family, I have loving friends. But it's not their responsibility to save me. It's not their responsibility at all, it's mine. It's always been mine. And I've realised over this 18 months of a deep transition into a new reality that I'm creating for myself, an honest reality, a vulnerable reality, where I'm learning through my mistakes, I'm learning through being vulnerable, I'm learning by talking to you guys, opening myself up about what scares me, what has made me cry, because I still cry. God, I cry. Crying's good. Releases a lot of energy. Because something that's happened to me since doing all this ayahuasca and all these deep plant medicines, and I've gone really deep, I can tell you, super deep. I'd love to do a TED talk on it, actually, it'd be interesting. Is that everything we experience in our world, we experience because we've created it. Ultimately, I know it's a funny concept to get your head around, but we live in a mirror reality, and what is going on in here, I'll ultimately experience externally. And it's a fascinating concept when you start to understand this, because you start to understand actually how much control you do have in this world. And we don't need to be victims. Many of us are victims. We live in this victim mentality. This happened to me because. That person did this to me because. Step out of victim mentality, guys. Don't waste any more years on victim mentality. I was a victim for years. Stuck in that victim mentality. Woe is me, poor me. Haven't got here because of this. Whoa. Ultimately, never got there because I didn't put the effort in. That's the reality of it. If we want to change things, we want to experience change, we have to create movement. We've got to move towards things. There's no point just sitting here thinking, theorising about life and what you might want. It's not going to achieve anything. It doesn't achieve anything. So, I think to summarise this quick video is, if you feel you would like to go on a healing journey, get in contact. There's this amazing team of people I've been working with for the last 2 years, right? The most beautiful souls on this earth. Super qualified, super experienced, who will create this journey for you, will help you heal, will give you all the love and advice, the unconditional love and advice that you need to really explore who you really are and really help you get back into alignment, become your authentic self. I promise you, the idea, the sheer notion of sitting in front of a camera like this and talking like I am right now to you, to all of you beautiful people, just the mere notion terrified me 18 months ago, terrified me 9 months ago, absolutely terrified me. I was just fearful, completely consumed by fear. And yet now I'm sitting here and I enjoy the videos I can do. I enjoy interacting with you wonderful people. I enjoy sharing my experience. So much has changed. So much has changed. I was consumed by anxiety, depression and fear 24/7. And I had to hide it. Had to hide it and deal with all of it through drugs and alcohol. And although I never really allowed the drugs and alcohol to completely affect my life, it did affect my life. It made me far less present with the one person in my world that I absolutely adore, which caused her pain, this caused her discomfort. I was selfish. I was selfish in my behaviour. I was selfish in my behaviour because I had not dealt with my shit, my past traumas. So then I just kept carrying them on, year on year, over and over and over and over again. And we all do this. We all do this. We will all avoid painful things. It's human condition, right? We will avoid pain at all costs. We like the easy route. Softly, softly. Cuddles and fairy lights. That's what we want. We don't want the dark. We don't want the misery. We don't want the pain. But I promise you, something I have learned, right? Some of the biggest lessons I have learned in the last 18 months is, one, I am not the thoughts that I have. For years I've had these weird thought processes, right? And I'd attach so much emotion to them that I think that I was creating my own reality of these thought processes. But no, I am not my thoughts. These are just stories that are just conjuring up and I'm just playing with. I am not my thoughts. So if I'm not my thoughts, I can create new thoughts, more positive thoughts. I don't have to be thinking in a negative framework all the time like I used to. Bombarded daily. Negative chitter chatter, nonsense, noise, constantly going around my head. I can't tell you. Since doing the ayahuasca, my God, my head is so clear. For the first 2 months, when I came back, I thought I was losing my mind. In my entire life, I could never, ever remember a time when my mind was so clear, so empty, with so much clarity. I thought I was losing my mind. Seriously. I was going to go to the doctors and be like, I think I've taken this hallucinogenic ayahuasca tea and I think I've fried my circuits. I hadn't. I had just done some deep, deep work and sorted out the childhood traumas that were creating anxiety, depression and all my fears and all the nonsense. I will still suffer from anxiety. Anxious things will still pop up, but I'm able to deal with them much quicker instead of just suddenly getting sideswiped by this whole notion of anxiety as it just floods your system and just makes you feel like hell, right? Anxiety, what a cruel, cruel emotion that we feel. Just absolutely crippling, isn't it? So, getting back to my point, for those of you out there who resonate with what I am saying, who are interested in exploring who you really are interested in sorting out your bullshit. We all have bullshit. It is fine. It is normal, right? I had so much. I still do. Of course, we're human beings. Of course we have shit. But we can choose to address it, heal it, and move through it, or we can just choose to get stuck in this loop of this behaviour which will just never change. And we'll just stay in the same space. Year on year, you'll be asking yourself, wow, why am I still here? Why am I still here? Why do I still feel this way? Because you're not working through it. And I promise you, this is another big lesson I've learned. Some of my biggest fears are things that I would physically make me sick at the idea of going in and exploring. They just go like that. Yeah, you feel like crap going through it, but everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. And when you understand the notion that an emotion, a feeling inside you might make you feel like shit for about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but it's temporary and then it goes. And then you're free from that emotion. You've taken that lesson, you've healed. And the chances are it's not going to come back. This is why healing is so important. Yes, healing is hard. Healing is shit. Healing is emotional. You will cry. You'll be in fear. You'll probably think you're dying. But there's no such thing as death, really, in the grand scale of things. So we've got nothing to fear. Got nothing to fear. It's just false evidence appearing to be so bloody real that it just keeps us stuck. Don't get stuck, beautiful people. I was stuck for years, right? I was stuck for years. And all of that prison was all created in here. Everything that kept me stuck was created in here through fear, concern, worry, loneliness. It's a mad world, beautiful people. It really is a mad, mad world. But it's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful existence, and we are gifted. We are so lucky to be here, alive, right here, right now. You wake up every single day, you open your eyes and you're still bloody breathing. Thank God for that. Feel the appreciation, the gratitude. Yes, life down here is tough, but everything is a learning lesson. Everything has the potential to help you grow. Everything you come across in your life has the ability to give you a lesson to help you expand your awareness and your consciousness. And if you're doing that, you're winning. If you can take the lessons from everything in life you experience, good or bad, embrace those lessons, appreciate those lessons for what they are, you're winning. You're always winning. So with that, I'm going to leave you and let you ponder and think about what I said. And if any of you do want to start exploring your consciousness, exploring who you really are, then we've got a next retreat in October this year. It's going to be 10 days, southern Italy, with some of the most inspiring, most amazing people there are on this planet. So if you would like to come, dive deep into the world of plant medicines and healing, then drop me a DM and I will send you all the information you need about it. Beautiful PDF, and you can read all about it, and you can just ponder it, see if it resonates with you. That's the key. Go with everything which resonates with you. That's my advice. Follow the energy, follow the vibration of what sparks your interest, because I know a lot of you out there are very, very interested in the journey that I have taken, and yeah, it has been really, really tough. I'm not going to lie to you, really, really tough. And if I'd have filmed some of the really tough periods, I wish I had, because maybe I'll do that next time I have a really bad sort of clear out bout. Maybe I'll film it and you can sit there and watch me sobbing and crying into the camera. It's all about vulnerability and embracing that vulnerability, people. That is where the power is. Fear is about embracing vulnerability and going through it and realizing that the other side is just this beautiful freedom. Anyway, big love to you all. Feel free to ask me any questions. Just DM me, Instagram, or send me an email and I'll be happy to chat. Also happy to do video calls for any of you guys who are interested. In the next couple of months, I'm actually going to be releasing my new program. For those of you who don't know, is that I'm a behavioural consultant, and for the last 20 odd years, I've been working with clients all over the world, helping them sort out what's going on up here. And we've recently developed a new 20-week program which go alongside my sort of other aspect of work. So anyone who's really interested in working with me one-to-one, get at me. It's a pretty tough program. It's a no BS program where we're going to go, you work with me one-to-one, and we drill straight down into all your shit, unpick all of that nonsense up here and allow you to make better choices with your life. So again, anyone interested in talking to me about that, just DM me and we will chat. But for now anyway, I'm going to go and crack on with my day. But big love to you all, and thank you so much for watching this video. And as I said, if you've got any questions, just reach out. I'm always here for all of you. I really am. I really do mean that. I will make time for anybody, be it just DM, text, or video call. I love video calls. I love connecting with people face to face on a video call. Is great. Or if you're in London and you want to just take me out for a coffee in the morning, just do it. That's all it takes. Is I'm a cheap date, just a flat white, and I am yours. So big love, and we'll catch up soon.